Damon and Talia emerged from the last line of trees, and Talia shrank at the sight of the neat lawn and the mansion. Little by little, her steps became smaller and her face filled with reluctance. Talia understood this stood as the packhouse, and such places didn't bring happy memories. The packhouse at the Red Moon Path represented a place where she felt fine only while hiding. In the forest, she felt happy, and she didn't want to go back to the attic. "This will be your home, Talia," Damon announced and tugged her hand to start moving. Talia wondered if she heard him right. "My home?" She knew Damon lived there, and probably Caden and Maya and any other high-ranking members of the pack. But what about her? She amounted to nobody. Talia forced herself to stay present and observe her surroundings. It might come in handy if she needed to flee. In terms of size, the pack house loomed larger than the one at the Red Moon Path. Damon led the way toward the main entrance, so Talia saw the circular driveway and the lawn that had low green plants along its edges and several topiary trees cut in spiral shapes. It appeared simple and elegant, and she liked it better than the lavish front of the Red Moon Pack's pack house with its colorful fragrant bushes and small ponds. As they approached the open main door, Stephanie's voice reached them. "Any longer and we would have sent a search party." Talia panicked at the realization that she held Damon's hand. She tried tugging her hand free, but Damon tightened his grip. At the sight of Stephanie emerging from the door, Talia swiftly stepped behind Damon in an attempt to hide their connected hands. "Let go!" Talia pleaded while trying to pry her hand free. Damon's grip remained tight enough so she couldn't get free, yet not strong enough to cause pain. Talia couldn't believe this. He acted as the alpha and she amounted to nobody. How could they hold hands? It seemed inappropriate. If anyone saw them like this, she would become a target. Did he want that? "You said this was only if I tripped or got lost," Talia spoke in an urgent whisper. "We're out of the forest and we've reached the pack house, so..." At this point, Stephanie looked at the duo and waited for them to acknowledge her presence. She didn't see that Damon held Talia's hand, but she saw a girl struggling over something behind Damon's back and didn't know what to think about the scene in front of her. Reluctantly, Damon released Talia's hand. He felt the loss of Talia's touch and balled his hands into fists in an attempt to stop himself from reaching for Talia again. "Stephanie, this is the girl I mentioned, Talia." Stephanie looked at Talia, who was still half hid behind Damon, and did her best not to frown at the sight of bruises on Talia's face. "Hello, Talia. I'm Stephanie. Welcome." "Hi," Talia said apprehensively, and Stephanie waved at them to enter. "Come on, the food's ready. We can talk inside." Talia observed the interior, which appeared clean and neat with just the right touch of elegance. Large windows allowed ample light, giving it an open feel, and she picked up Damon's scent of forest and dark chocolate lingering everywhere. If she closed her eyes, she could easily mistake this place for a forest, probably because of the scent and all the fresh air. Somehow, she hadn't imagined this as the place where a scary alpha would live. A few young ladies peeked at them from behind the corner. Talia didn't miss the hearts in their eyes as they looked at Damon. Talia concluded these girls were Omegas. If they had any standing, they would approach Damon and talk to him. The dining room had a rectangle-shaped table in the middle, big enough to fit 20 people. The furniture bore a light gray color and chairs cushioned in deep red. But Talia's attention focused on the food that smelled divine. There sat fruits and waffles and several different spreads. "I'll get fresh coffee." Stephanie quickly disappeared through the door on the left. Damon went toward his usual seat at the head of the table and gestured for Talia to sit on his left. "Do you want orange juice, milk, or coffee?" She chose orange juice, and Damon poured her a glass. Caden and Maya joined them at the table. Stephanie entered the dining room with a silver kettle that released steam from the top. She poured the hot beverage into Damon's cup, and the aroma of fresh black coffee reached Talia's nose. It mixed well with Damon's scent of dark chocolate. Stephanie smirked at Caden and Maya. Did you come here for a second breakfast? How can I allow my alpha to eat alone? Caden beckoned Stephanie with his empty cup, indicating he wanted coffee also. Maya cocked an eyebrow at Talia. Well, he's not alone. The three of them looked at Damon, who put a waffle onto Talia's plate. Damon felt their gazes on him and grumbled. Talia's hand is hurt and I'm helping. Stop staring like a circus came to town. Talia lowered her head in embarrassment. She told Damon she could manage, but he insisted, and now everyone looked at them. Ignore them. Do you want jam or syrup with that? I'm not sure, Talia said honestly. It had been a long time since she ate fresh waffles, and things like jams and syrup seemed like luxury items. Another odd thing was that she sat at the table, in a dining room, with people. A lot of new things to process. Talia noticed the absence of Omegas. At the Red Moon Pack, Omegas always stood around, ready to serve Alpha, Beta, and their guests. It wasn't that Talia wanted someone to serve her, but Stephanie going to get coffee and everyone getting food on their own seemed unusual. After Stephanie poured coffee for everyone who wanted some, she also joined them at the table and grabbed a handful of grapes to munch on. Without Talia's input on waffle toppings, Damon placed a few strawberries next to the waffle and a dollop of whipped cream, then drizzled syrup over half of the waffle and applied plum jam on the other half. Talia rejected Damon's offer to feed her. You already prepared everything. Please, don't. She stopped talking when Damon started cutting the waffle into bite-sized pieces. Talia looked at him as he focused completely on cutting the waffle. Talia, these are Caden and Maya, betas of the Dark Howlers pack. And that's Stephanie. She takes care of the packhouse. If you need anything, you can ask them. They might be nosy, but the three of them are here to help me run this pack, and they're doing a great job. Neither of them will tease or bully you, but if they make you uncomfortable, you should let them know. In time, you'll get used to their sense of humor. Damon pushed the plate with the cut waffle in front of Talia and gave her a fork. Now, eat. Damon's tone didn't allow for objections. Not that Talia had any. She felt happy that he didn't feed her as he did in the hotel. That would have been super embarrassing. She mumbled a thank you and started eyeing the food on her plate, silently deciding where to start. Maya and Caden exchanged knowing looks, but they didn't say anything, not even through the mind link, because they didn't want to risk Damon overhearing them. Again. Damon's expression remained stern, and he sounded bossy as usual, but it seemed undeniable that he gave extra attention to Talia. It represented something no other girl received so far.
Wait, that's not the end. You've just had a free taste. Now get the full story on the Pocket FM app, link in description. Check out our next video and playlist, and don't forget to like, share, and subscribe.